motion? All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. The contrary? Bingo. It's now the new bylaw, and I particularly want to thank everyone involved with that stuff. We're going to something now for the sake of our own well-being. And does anyone want to move the health, safety and well-being? And I hope this includes mental well-being after that last hour and a half.
Councillor
Henderson is moving this, and it is seconded by myself. No one else is interested in well-being. Jolly good, you two. Back again for the usual feedback.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We'll take the report as read. Becky's got a few updates because the report was slightly delayed coming to the committee, but we can also take questions.
Kia ora, Mr. Mayor.
That one.
Kia ora, Mr. Mayor and councillors. So we'll take questions after this, but I just wanted to give you some updates that are currently underway. I wanted to outline a new project that we're working on at the moment to address violent and aggressive behaviour in our community, especially supporting our frontline staff, kaimahi, that is supported by ELT. So that's a significant piece of work that's underway at the moment to look at one of our critical risks, which is a great move. Also, we're working to support and give advice to local members on the candidate trail while they're campaigning. So that's upcoming too, to give those people support in terms of the violent and aggressive behaviour that they're facing at the moment as well. We've also made some significant progress on the report at the moment. So in terms of that, we have some consultation for documents at the moment. One of them is around the Hauora strategy that has been completed and currently out for consultation, which is great, and an update on the health and safety and wellbeing policy. We've also made some significant moves on the contractor safety management, and we're working closely with NZTA and Watercare to make sure that our contractor management is robust and aligning with those best practices. We've also completed quite a few projects that are currently in the red on the current report. And then the last thing to update you on is that in the next time I see you, there will be a new update on the reporting. So it will look slightly different, and we've looked at new measures, and you'll have far better data to help inform you. Thank you. Open for any questions.
Questions, please. Councillor.
Thanks, Mayor. Thank you for all the work the teams are doing on this. The questions I have, and they could look alarming, but maybe there's some more behind it, the 30% increases in engagements and the kaimahi you're working with in the wellbeing space, is that could be seen as a positive because they're accessing it, but are there sort of concerning trends or anything that we can be doing, or Phil and his team can be doing to improve the situation for our staff?
Yeah, that's a great call out, thank you. I don't see that there's any significant trend upwards in terms of anything of any concern. However, our Hauora wellbeing team have been making significant progress in getting out and about more often and delivering workshops to upskill and update our staff about the services that they provide. And the same token, we've seen a slight downturn in our EAP usage, so they're kind of countering one or another. They also work together, so they offer a slightly different service. So EAP is more around counselling, short-term intervention, whereas our Hauora wellbeing team is more guidance, upskilling, pastoral care type advice. So complementary of one another, but slightly different.
And with the shared services and things, and with CCOs obviously coming in different parts, we're having a discussion around Auckland Transport soon, how are you working with those teams coming in? Were you working with them already? And also around, how do you engage with the kind of acute issues, the animal management around a huge pressure, the teams that aren't necessarily in an office to see the reminders or maybe have the time to even access your services, but are dealing with pretty rough, tough environments?
Just referring to the first question around collaborations with CCOs, we've just engaged across all of our CCO partners and signed a new contract with a procurement partner for EAP services. So we're very much across all of that service level. And then in terms of some of our frontline staff, so two things. In the first instance, our animal management team have got a dedicated Hauora specialist with them for a secondment period of 12 months to try to uplift that and be more hands-on. As well as that, I've talked about the violent and aggressive behaviour project, where animal management, libraries, our pools and leisure, and our call centre are pilot projects, pilot sites for that project. So we are leaning into that space to understand really what they're facing.
Okay, and last question, thanks, Mayor. And it might be part of the induction, but for new elected members, is there a session or some thoughts going into, rightly or wrongly, working with how elected members should or shouldn't be interacting with staff, what is expected, how to deal with, I've seen a lot in the past of inappropriate behaviour, and I just know that I'm not sure if there's ever a good expectation level set at the beginning. You know, some of it is common sense, surely, but there is maybe some other work around how we could do that.
The answer is yes. We are incorporating it in your induction material for post-October. There is a range of things to cover there in terms of support arrangements and security advice.
For local board members too?
For all elected members,
Cool.
yes. Board members as well as councillors, yes.
Cool. Thank you.
Councillor Turner?
Thank you. I'm not very au fait with this. I've been focusing on other things, but health and safety is something I talk about a lot. This here is basically just to do with, it's not the practical workplace type health and safety like our cones and our steel boots and all that sort of stuff, is it? It's more to do with the safety of the politicians and the bureaucratic sort of health and safety. Is that correct? Is there a difference here?
No, it incorporates everything, so right from governance all the way through, so working under the Health and Safety at Work Act, and ensuring that we are legally covered for all aspects, which includes the safety of elected members, our governance level, right down to our frontline kaimahi. So things like boots, yes, absolutely.
Thank you. So then my question is, understanding the costs on us and places like some of our CCOs or our Auckland Transport now with 30% of their total budget going on health and safety, and I know Watercare talk about the same sort of costs. Has there been a focus on cost-benefit analysis in this as well?
Not currently, however, some of our tools are being used across all CCO partners for efficiencies, like DoneSafe as an example, which is our health and safety management system. So that's a tool in terms of recording information, getting data out of that. So there's certainly some efficiencies there, not a cost analysis across the whole sector, no.
Which is, if I might, Councillor, which is not to say that there isn't work going on about the proportion of, say, transport expenditure that goes on traffic safety. It's just that while that happens, we've still got to meet our legal and moral responsibility for health and safety of staff and contractors on our work.
Thank you. If I could just go back on that. So I suppose I'm a little bit self-conscious because I'm really hot on this, but have done nothing for 3 years. So if I was to come back in the next segment, in the next term, there is room there that we're going to be moving forward. There's things the public observe and there's other things to explain. This is an ongoing process, or is it? Yeah.
It's an ongoing process. This report that's regularly on your governing body agenda is a referral from the Audit and Risk Committee. It is as well as keeping you informed, it's helping you satisfy your legal responsibility for due diligence over our health and safety management in the organisation. So trust me, it's not just interesting, it's for your own benefit in terms of legal responsibility under the Health and Safety Employment Act.
Good, thank you. I'll say I'd like to be more involved next time, if there is one. Thank you.
Any more questions? I've got none up here. In that case, you can step back and I'll ask for any comments or debate on this, but thank you very much for your work and your kind report. None? It's been moved and seconded. I'll put the receipt of this report. All those in favour, please say aye. Contrary, carried. Thank you very much. Welcome, Hannah. We're now on to the adoption of the annual plan. Thank you, Councillor Sayers, for leading the Budget Committee this year. I think we've done pretty well. We've already made all the decisions. This is just the last step in the process. I'll move this. The Deputy Mayor will second it. Over to you to Hannah. Welcome, please.
Cool. Ngā mihi tēnā koe, Mr. Mayor. Tēnā koutou katoa governing body. Today marks the final step in the adoption process for the Annual Plan 2025-2026. The report on today's agenda seeks your formal adoption of the Annual Plan documents, which reflect your decisions you have made on the 28th of May. This is a necessary procedural step to ensure we are compliant with all relevant legislations. The Annual Plan documents have been prepared in accordance with those decisions and include prospective financial statements and other supporting financial information, a funding impact statement outlining rating policies, a summary of the Tupunga Monga Authority Operational Plan agreed by the governing body on 28th of May, and the 21 local board agreements along with other local content adopted by each local board between 10 and 12 of June. The draft documents were initially circulated to you on Friday, 13th of May. Following that, a drop-in session was held last Wednesday to provide an opportunity for your informal feedback, and a written feedback option was also made available. The documents have been finalized and reviewed by our legal team, who have confirmed their compliance with key legislative requirements. The annual plan version for adoption was made public on the agenda for today's meeting. Any minor or editorial amendments required following today's meeting will be approved under delegation by the Mayor and our Chief Financial Officer, Ross Tucker. The final documents will be published on our website within the next week. To complete the process, we will also re-engage with Aucklanders who participated in the consultation by providing a summary of the decisions made on the 28th of May via a closing the loop written communication. Once again, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to you, our governors, for your ongoing input and commitment throughout the development of this annual plan. Kia ora. Happy to take any partai.
Thank you, Hannah. There aren't any questions at this stage, but we've debated this for about 8 months now, so I'm hoping that you've got all the questions out of you, in which case you can retire. Any discussions on this thing here? Okay, right, I'm going to put it. All those in favour, please say aye. Aye. To the contrary, carried. Okay, well done. That's 2.5 kilograms of paper. Now, setting the scene, our most popular thing we do all year, Andrew Duncan will tell us how the rates are being set to reflect decisions in the annual plan and how much better we're doing than other councils. I will move this and the